So if you want to become a better braaier, there's two things that I think you should do. The first thing is get a Weber, and the second thing is get to know your butcher a bit better. Let your butcher dictate to you what is available, what is really good to cook, what is seasonal, what is fresh, and build that relationship. Get your butcher to be your buddy, like I've done. So this is Andrew. Andrew is my butcher friend from Frankie Fenner Meat Merchants, and we've been using him for all of our restaurants for some time now. So if you come to any of our restaurants, then it's Andrew's meat that's available there. So Andrew, you've got a few cuts of meat ready for us that we can look at and chop on the braai later. Can we take a look at them, please?
Absolutely, I'm going to get them for you.
Thank you. Onto the lamb bits. Now, there's some of my favorite cuts of lamb here, and well, my favorite all the time is lamb ribs. And I love a sote ribbietjie or a staande ribbietjie. And when I do lamb at home and I cook lamb often, South African lamb for me is good enough to just get salted. And you cook it really well. So this is my favorite, one of my favorites. You mentioned earlier that what you do is pop it in the oven slowly and then braai quickly.
Yes. If you're allowed to cross genres like that. I love to put them in the oven for like 100 degrees for like an hour and a half, so they're just almost falling off the bone. And then they're searing on fire. Seal them, salt, eat them. If you can make it back to the kitchen, that's good. I eat like 3 before I get back to the kitchen.
They're incredible, and what I love about rib is it's like the perfect marriage of fat, bone, and flesh.
Absolutely.
And you know, it's just incredible. And if I think about eating in Afrikaans, you also get the sopspot, like the fat drips off your chin. Then lamb rib is that thing for me that just makes me eat so much of it that the fat just runs down my chin. It's incredible.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, especially these guys. I think I've converted a lot of people. Lamb's quite rich, so I mean, if you just render the fat a little bit and get it out, sort of quell that richness. It's delicious.
The one place where rib is essential for me as a Dutchman is when I make embodies or potjies. So I'm a big lamb potjie kind of guy.
And you cut them like this?
No, smaller. So we do little rib blocks, and I use either lamb neck or lamb shin with the rib blocks. And the fat in this is essential for a potjie. And especially embodies as well. It's really good. Yeah, 100%. And then there's just like really super cool fattiness, and this is like ultimate for me.
Amazing.
I'm usually a shoulder chop kind of guy. Because and I'll say it happily that when you go to a braai in South Africa, most lamb chops should be served crispy. We like crispy fatty stuff, and the shoulder chop is perfect. And
nice and thin cut.
Yeah, thin cut shoulder chop, super crispy, just salt. But you know, if you look at these guys, these are incredible. So this is a loin chop. This is from the back of the loin, from the saddle really.
Yes, basically. Yeah. So they're called the Barnsley chop, but I prefer the name Darth Vader chop.
Okay.
Because it kind of looks like his mask.
Oh, there you go. Oh, nice.
That's a Darth Vader.
Cool.
So Darth Vader chops are amazing. So it's a double loin chop.
Yeah.
And it's meaty. It's got a bit of a fillet on there. I mean, this is basically this guy.
Yeah.
Cut into a chop.
That's good.
If you see them back to back, you can see the sirloin section and the fillet section over there.
I'm not sure what we're going to do with this, but I mean, this looks incredible. And once you cook it for a bit, and I think it might require slow cooking at first, and then speed up the process. But I mean, this is definitely something that you're going to serve slightly pink.
Yes,
sure. And you know, if you could get it in such a way that you've got pink loin bits and then crispy rib section here, that'll be insane. But it's what a cool cut of meat.
It's very cool.
And then if you cut them across the same sort of thing, but across the rib, so you get the ribs and you do like a double lamb chop sort of thing, a double loin chop.
Yeah, basically. I mean, you could do double rib chops too. We've done those before for people. This is just this fillet section.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Huh? I don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but I know it's going to be whatever it's going to be. It's cool. Lekker. Nou gaan ons braai. So one of the best ingredients we have in South Africa is lamb. Our lamb is superior to everywhere else in the world. Now you could argue with me, but I would say that the Kiwis and the Aussies can't play rugby and they can't grow lamb either, so let's just leave it at that, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, before we get into a big argument about it, let's talk about these two cuts. So this is one of my favorite cuts. This is a little lamb rib. Now we usually do these as big sort of slabs of sote ribbietjie or staande rib. Now these are Barnsley chop. These are double lamb loin chop, so just look at that. There's the backbone, 2 bits of loin, and then these wonderful little bits of flat that comes off the saddle of the lamb. These are incredible. Now if you cook South African lamb, my suggestion would be to do as little as possible. Just use salt. It'll bring the natural flavour of the lamb to the foreground, and it's flippin' delicious. If I remember correctly, Andrew said that these come from the Overberg, which is quite a wet, grassy region, so it wouldn't be as herbaceous as Karoo lamb, but it is still flippin' incredible. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to trim a little bit off the sides of these Barnsley chops. Now, the reason I'm doing this is that these wonderful little flaps are incredible. Look at the fat, look at the meat, and look at the skin. They're going to go crispy and super cool. But I'm going to treat them as a snack, and I'm going to cook the chops as the main meal. So let's do that first. Leaving a little bit of the flaps on the sides, it'll go super crispy and delicious. Let's start with the snack. So these guys we're going to take and season well, just with salt. Look at that. I put the Weber on moderate to low heat. I want to pop them on this resting rack up here, away from direct heat to cook it slowly. These riblets are super cool. This is perfection by Mother Nature. Bone, fat, and a bit of meat. It needs nothing else. So we're going to just season them well on the flat sides and on the skin side as well, just to make sure we can render out a bit more fat. And when you start cooking these guys on the skin side, to render out as much fat as possible and get the perfect lamb crisp. You check, Oaks. Good food isn't difficult. All you need is great ingredients, salt, and super cool tools to work with. So look at these guys. These are perfect Barnsley chops. Now, I love shoulder chops, crispy fat, crispy meat, like this, really cool. But this is not that kind of chops. We're going to try and keep these guys a little bit pink. However, we have an opportunity to get the fat side nice and crispy. So we're going to season both sides of them really well. Again, just lamb and salt, nothing else needed. And you can see on these chops that there's the loin and there's the fillet. So it really is like two little lamb T-bones connected. Now, we're going to use a sartie stocking and we're going to pop all these guys on through the marrow. There we go. Nice. And that will allow us to get all the fat nice and flat on the grill to crispen up, while each chop will protect the next one so they don't overcook. This will be beautiful and low heat. And look at that. It's like a gallery of lamb. I'm super excited to share this with you, so come and take a look. I've kept the one half of the grill on low heat and I've just switched the other half on high heat so I can sear those Barnsley chops properly. These are little Barnsley ends which are really coming together and smelling great and super crispy, bubbly fat and so on. Crispy fat. And if I feel the meat, it feels like a really good medium already. So this is a wonderful example of cooking on indirect heat. And now we're going to sear on direct heat for colour and flavour. Perfectly pink Barnsley chops, cooked on the bone, loads of fat, loads of flavour, and it's just great South African lamb and salt. And of course these little rib-end bits, crispy bits to enjoy with your chops or as a snack. There you go. Just look at that. Rendered out fat, bits of crispy meat on the bone. I'm going to whack on the high heat for a few seconds just to make sure we get the crisp proper. And that's it. Lamb, salt and a great Weber grill. Only thing that we're going to do is add a bit of lemon on the rib just to help it cut through the fattiness, but that's about it. That's it, man. This is death row meal stuff right here. This owns. What is some back on?